Too many mistakes. That's the theme of the game when Canada took on the Americans in New Year's Eve 2024. This game had a lot of hype coming into it, and it delivered. It was a really physical game, and we'll talk to you about that later on. This game also featured plenty of mistakes, and we'll also get into that later on. But first, let's give you a little brief recap on the game. First period ended 1-0 New Americans after Cole Hudson had an absolute snipe on the power play. Overall, it was a pretty even period with both teams having many scoring chances, but the Americans were lucky to get one after one. The second period was pretty much all Canada. Canada came out buzzing. They just couldn't finish, and again, we'll talk to you about that in a little bit. And the third was when it kind of blew open. Canada started off really well after a beautiful cross-crease pass from Braden Yeager over to Bradley Nadeau, and that put him up 1-1, which was a really big goal for the Canadians. It got the crowd going, and it got the team going too. Until they gave up 3 consecutive to the Americans, including one empty netter, sniped by Yzerman, a goal by Danny Nelson, and a giveaway by Ethan Cowan, resulting in a goal for Ryan Leonard to seal the deal, and that made the Americans win 4-1. Overall, plenty of mistakes for the Canadians, and we'll dive into that right now.
A main aspect of this game, how the Canadians pretty much threw this one away, was too many penalties. This was something that the Canadians have been, they have been taking a lot of penalties throughout this tournament, but it was kind of looked over. No one really paid much attention to that until this game, where guess how many penalties they took? 8. Guess how many goals the USA scored on the power play? 3 of their 4. They didn't score a single goal 5-on-5. The last one was an empty netter. What I'm trying to say is that if you're in the box for 16 minutes out of a 60-minute game, whatever, that's almost 1/3 of the game. That's almost a full period of being in the box. You can't expect to win a hockey game or score any goals when you're in a box for a third of the game. And on top of that, finishing has been a problem for Canada. So how do you expect to generate much offense? They were dominating in the second period until they took a couple dumb penalties, which kind of lost a bit of their momentum. And in the third, don't even get me started, they started to get a little bit of momentum, and then boom, took a penalty, boom, USA scored a goal. Right after, the crowd was buzzing. After Canada scored that goal to make it 1-1, the crowd was on their feet. Everyone was hyped. I thought it was over. Honestly, I thought Canada had this in the bag because of how energetic everyone was and how confident they were. Then they took a dumb cross-checking penalty, and that ends up in a goal. Later on, Ethan Cowan taking another stupid penalty. A little bit of the frustration kicked in. He took a dumb boarding penalty, and that resulted in a goal as well. It's just rough. There were too many mistakes out there for Canada, and power plays was definitely a big reason. If they want to go ahead and, have a chance against Czechia in the next round, they gotta tighten down on their defense and also their penalties.
This game was full of mistakes from the Canadians, from making stupid passes to giving up pucks away like Ethan Cowan did in the last minute of the game. It was honestly just a game that the Canadians needed to be focused, and they weren't quite there. They had a lot of scoring chances, don't get me wrong, but they didn't make use of all those shots, with about probably not even half of them being high quality scoring chances, which is one thing they got to improve on for next game. They also got to have a better forecheck and a better offensive cycle. Those are things that you need to win against Czechia, which is a pretty good defensive team. If they tighten up defensively and play better offensively and finish, I'm sure that Canada will be able to beat Czechia in the quarterfinals.
Obviously, Canada was generating a lot of offense. And throughout this tournament, it's not like they haven't been getting the chances. They're a great team. They have been getting the chances, but it's just a matter of putting the puck in the net. Gavin McKenna, he had so many chances tonight. I believe he's like 1 for 15. Out of 15 shots, he has a goal. He's a type of guy that normally scores those, and a lot of these guys too. And you can't really blame them for that. But finishing has been a huge thing in this tournament. It happened against Latvia when they lost that game in a shootout. They had so many shots and just couldn't put the puck in the net. Even against Germany, it was better, but you had to come out flying against the Americans and scoring goals if you really wanted a chance to win. And not being able to capitalize on some of the great quality scoring chances that they had kind of cost them the game as well. So that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like this type of content, these recaps, let us know. We're going to be doing more World Juniors content. Tune into the live streams. We'll be doing more of those as well. The last one was pretty fun. Sucks that Canada couldn't get the win, but in the end, we'll see what they can do against Czechia. Without further ado, stay tuned for more content, and we will see you in the next next video.